Hello everybody, my name is Troublemaker. In the background is Of Orcs and Men. And today I'm really talking about something that is almost asinine, it's almost ridiculous, it's almost crazy, but in some ways it makes a little bit of sense. The topic I'd like to talk about today is are gamers an untapped Republican resource? And that just seems really weird, odd. I'd like to apologize also for the sound quality. I'm on vacation currently as I record this. And I'm using my USB headset. It's cheap, it's easy, and it's accessible. So, apologies in advance. And I will have a larger article discussing this topic because I think it's actually kind of true. I think the Republicans and video gamers are a very good mix. Now, of course, in order for this to happen, one of the big things Republicans have to stop doing is targeting video gamers, which a lot, like, it's not all of them, it's only a handful of them, but those handful have to be muzzled. They're not allowed to blame video games for violence and all sorts of problems. That has to go away. But I do think they're actually a good mix. I think the Republican Party ideals and video gamers go well together. And like I said, the article will have a bigger discussion on this, but for now, some simple things about this. Republicans believe very much in the Constitution and rights, and whenever you see video game issues, what's it always about? It's always about freedom of speech, freedom of expression, property rights, all this sort of stuff, and these are all very Republican values. And I say property rights, well, what do you think this whole use games thing is? That's a total property rights argument. So that's like a nice crossover for the Republican, which is a big tent party, which is not just the Tea Party, which is the despised part of the party, but they have a big part on property, a big part on rights, and that's something that video gamers are often very much about. Specifically, those who are very opinionated and very active. Two, the Republicans need a younger face. Absolutely, they need a younger face. Right now, they look like the old white racist party, the grand old party, and that just doesn't really fit anymore. They're trying to court the black vote by, showing their roots with slavery and whatnot, when they should be focusing on attracting a younger crowd and showing off their platform on rights and property and jail reform and all these cool topics that the Republicans have that aren't evil. They do have non-evil policies, and in doing so, they might attract the black vote. Because unfortunately, this is semi-racist, the black vote is very cool oriented. They're looking for what's cool. And the black vote en masse came out for Bill Clinton because Bill Clinton was really cool. And the black vote en masse came out for Barack Obama because, once again, he's really cool. The black vote would not come out for just any black leader. That had to be someone who was hip, who was cool, who was in, who was trendy. And, Barack Obama has a Twitter account and Facebook. Whereas comparisons with, like, I have to remember a few of them. Al Gore, the incumbent vice president, the black vote didn't even come from, because he was kind of he was nerdy. Same thing with, like, John Kerry, John Edwards, same thing. They had that issue where they just weren't very hip, and that's one way they can track in that black vote, is by having the cool factor, and the cool factor can only be gained by getting young people. And right now, video games are really cool. And it's not like, and I say young people, it's like 18 to 35. That's what young passes for these days. Yikes. So that's, I'd say, three good points. I'd like to close off this video on why I think video gamers are conservatives. Now, I myself am a centrist. I express very little interest in political doctrines and philosophies, but I think that video gamers do cross over very, very well with conservatism. And so, my one example in this video will be the World of Warcraft guild. This is a perfect conservative structure. It preaches elitism. That is, the people who are best ought to rule. And so you have your best person as the guild master, hopefully sometimes, but not always. This person's a good manager, a good business manager, and this person sets rules. And people follow rules. People who follow rules are rewarded. People who do not follow rules are excluded. So this is a very good conservative structure. Within this conservative structure is a timetable and a schedule. So there's nothing crazy and unplanned. Everything is planned, and this is once again a very conservative structure. People have a capitalistic guild, that is, they can choose their guild, and there are competitions of guilds, and there's no such thing as a server with just one guild. Everywhere they prefer to have multiple guilds. So once again, conservative capitalism. Okay, a little bit further, we have the loot system, which is the absolute most conservative system of all systems out there. Now, there are people who do crazy liberal systems in which those who need it can get it, but that's very rare. It's very, very rare. Not many people do this, and that's what we call the John Rawls doctrine. Compared to a more conservative doctrine, forgetting the name of the author who writes Anarchy, State, and Utopia. But that conservative structure focuses around you have to earn things, you get what you deserve, to do your time, and that's the prime of DKP systems, that's Dragon Kill points, and EPGP systems, such as earn points, gain points. I can't remember. It's all about you have to put in the work, and then you get to pick what you want with this currency that you have earned. And sometimes exceptions are made for the good, and conservatives do agree with this as they bail out airlines and banks and whatnot. And at the end of the day, guilds are also task oriented, which is something that conservatives are very much about. Technocracy is very much a conservative principle, and that's the idea that you should be tasked with one specific goal and everyone's focused in on that. And so, like, these are a lot of really great points of how a WoW guild is like the Republican Party. Now, there's obviously not 12 million Americans in the WoW guilds, but there might be like 10 million, maybe 9 million or something like that. But if you could grab this large video gaming audience, you don't even need to get them all. You just need to get the fact that we're Republicans, we approve of video games, and we're cool. And they have to get that cool factor. I mean, they're going to have the right candidate, of course. But if they start courting video gamers more aggressively, they'll have more luck. When I see most video gamers out there, most of them are very hyper conservative. So I think if you're a Republican planner listening to this video, you might consider courting video gamers. And that's my video for this week. Kind of short. I'm on the road, but thank you guys for watching, and apologies for no wargame video this week. There will be one next week, I promise. See you guys then.